Hi, Bridget Bell with you. I'm with Ron Moller. Welcome to the WA Sporting Car Club event here at Wanneroo Raceway. Tell me about your TA2. Do you love it?
Absolutely. Looking forward to getting out and doing some more racing with it.
Yeah.
And it's a new thing to try.
How long have you had the car?
About 6 months.
About 6 months. I see they're slapping new stickers on it this morning. New
Yes.
sponsors on board?
They're for the WA Sports Sedan Sports Car Club, and so they're sponsors of our particular
bracket?
group, our bracket. Yep.
Fantastic. And what's this car like to drive?
It's quite an interesting car to drive. It's a bit like a historic touring car would be, but way better, and not as solid as your full-on sports sedans or sports cars. But it's meant as a more of a budget category in that era. And yes, 4-speed H-pattern gearbox and 525 horsepower motor.
Okay, so you've got like a big rig in the front to pull you around.
Yep.
What are you allowed to adapt and change to these? How can you make it a little bit more personal for you?
You can only adapt with your suspension setup, and there's very little you can do there. Your springs and shockeys,
So
minor,
you can
but
control
everything
your
else,
handling a bit?
and your diff ratios, those sort of things. So
Okay, so you can like speed and torque a little.
yes.
Yep. What? Do you mind if I ask what diff you're running? Do you know
The
your ratio?
diff in this is a Detroit. The one that's in at the moment is a 3.7.
Okay.
So
Good for top end?
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yep.
we're just trying to work out what we need here, and being on a wet track doesn't help us much at this stage. So
Because you haven't been able to change your tyres much. You said that there's only 2 tyres you're allowed to pick from?
Yes, who's your control tyre, and either you've got the slicks or the wets. So
I suppose it makes it
that's
a bit more affordable, only having to have the 2.
yeah, the whole thing is to make it affordable, and so that it's not controlled so much how you spend. It's how well you drive them and how well you set them up.
Okay. And do you think you're doing well?
Not at this stage. We're not going so well, but
Is it coming
it's
around?
hard to judge. But we're getting a feel for it. Yeah.
Because last time we were here, you decided to go play in the sandpit.
Yeah, well, that was with a serious sports sedan, that one, and we had a couple of little issues we discovered later. So,
Do you mind divulging what had happened?
well, it was a gearbox. We couldn't get it back into third, so we needed that for that little bit of extra slowdown as we entered the corner, and it was jamming, and it didn't happen. So we ended up running off.
Just overcooked it.
Yeah. Yep. We started blaming the driver, but I found an excuse, so I was lucky. Yeah.
It's never the
I
driver's
could blame
fault.
the car. Yeah.
Good. We like that. Always blame your engineer.
Oh, that first choice. Yeah.
Everybody needs a good scapegoat.
You're right.
So, we've touched on this car. What is the history of these, this bracket? Do you know?
Yeah, they've about 5 years ago they started bringing them into Australia. They've been running in America for ages as a second-tier category to Trans Am cars, and there's more than 60 in Australia running now.
Okay, how many in Perth?
There's 2 at the moment. There's another 3 heading over next week.
I was going to say, I thought I heard rumours that we'd have 5 in the bracket before the end of the season.
Yep, and by the sounds, it could even be another few.
Oh, really?
As well. So it's starting to move in WA.
Yeah, good door-to-door racing, nice and even field.
Is. Yes, very much.
And is there anything else you'd like to add that I haven't addressed?
No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm ready to go out for the next one shortly. So
I've got one other question.
Yeah.
You've been racing for a bit. What's your favourite car you've ever raced?
I don't think I've had a favourite. The old historic Camaro 68, that was great fun.
Yep.
The white one I've really enjoyed because that's just full on to get your attention. It's got probably 780 horsepower and stops on a dime. But this one's kind of a return to the good old where you can actually step it out sideways and do a bit of drifting once I get the hang of it again, and play around a bit more with it. So,
all right. Well, without further ado, I'm going to let you get on with that.
Okay.
Thank you very much for having a chat with me, Ron.
Very good. Welcome.